Hello, one and all. Hello. Welcome back to Hear the Snap. We had a little hiatus and we missed you all as much as you missed us. Today, though, we are talking about marriage. Marriage. What this marriage thing is about? Where people even want to be married. But first, let me hear something. Krista, girl, what you really think this marriage thing is?
Well, personally, I think that marriage is a covenant between one man, one woman, and God. Well, sometimes God. I also believe that sometimes we tend to make him a witness rather than that third strand.
Well, I believe that marriage is between one man, one woman, and we need to join together for the purposes of God, to glorify God. Also, just to give a little credibility, Aaron and I have been married for 4 years. So have no fear, married people are here. And so, it wouldn't seem as though we just talking and we don't know what we're talking about and all those different things. So yes, marriage is a beautiful covenant between a man and a woman, and we come together for God's purposes.
I think that yes, I agree with both Krista and Jay that marriage is between a man and a woman, and it was something that is put together by God to fulfill a particular purpose or purposes. And we'll go into Genesis basically to be fruitful and multiply and take care of the earth. That's it.
For me, I believe that marriage is a way to officiate a relationship between you and your significant other by law or spiritually.
Again, true.
For me, no, I think marriage is a union between a man and a woman for the purposes. I realize that word purpose is not well said. For the purpose that God has set before us. So that's what I think marriage is.
Right. So I have a question though. Do we as millennials, do you think that millennials really know what marriage requires?
I don't really think so, Like
Do you?
as a millennial, well, I can't just say me, but I think millennials just look at marriage as something that the old people telling them to do. If you understand what I say, they didn't really understand what it's for and the benefits and all that. So like you're with a spouse, a male or a female or whatever, and your parents say, when are they getting married? And that's what they know. That's what I think.
So
But
basically, just tradition. It's just like it's
Yeah.
a cultural tradition instead of what it actually means or whatnot like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I say yes or no to that question. I say that I think some of them have an idea of what it requires. Some may not just, they're not willing to put in the work. And I think some have no clue, like not one inkling of a clue of what it requires to be married and to stay married. Not just be married, but stay married.
yes, I don't think that many millennials know what marriage requires. And that is why a lot of people today, a lot of young people get into marriages just for the purpose of sex. They get into marriages just because, as Shan said, you know, um, some people, their grandparents probably tell them, hey, all it together for XYZ amount of time. look to see if they could get married, that kind of thing. I really don't think so. And I have been around pairs who they literally just got married and the marriage lasted 1 year tops. You understand? So I genuinely don't think that millennials understand what this marriage thing is about.
Yeah, because
What
nobody
about
really sitting down somebody, the millennials, and saying, this is it. This is what it requires, this is what it is. Instead of just saying that is something that you have to do.
That is what I was going to say. And well, to me, I think that it is the fault of the older ones in church, especially because they never really has chance to talk to anybody concerning anything, and instead they painted like this picture, like is this grand club you could just join, and you're getting a free membership pass to
Yeah.
whatever it is they think you're getting a free membership pass to, so that they person you to do this thing because like it's not something you should consider before actually doing it. That's just my view on it.
exactly, exactly? Because as Aaron said, the amount of people, listen, as young Christians who go to church regularly, we are surrounded by a lot of young people who, or I wouldn't say a lot, but a good amount of young people who get married, right? And they really operate as though it's some type of club, like some kind of exclusive
Mhm.
club. Hey, my first name is Mrs. My first name is Mr. You understand? And that's all it takes. We did a counseling session already, and I was totally blown away. These people didn't even have any questions. And that was like when Aaron and I were about in our first year, maybe. We had to sit and talk to some people, and it was just whew, a lot.
Hmm.
So my next question now is, what percentage of millennials actually do get married? Does anybody know?
Yeah. See?
Listen, I
Champagne.
know that I wanna know. I know that I wanna know.
I didn't. Sorry.
According to my research, 69% of millennials still want to get married. So I guess this concept is not a lost cause.
Wait, 69
69%.
want to?
Yes,
They want
69
to get
want
married, meaning they're
69%
not
of
married.
millennials still want to get married.
It's a surprising number to me. I thought it was
Espe-
less.
exactly. Ira look like you want to say something.
um I, I when it concerning me and that number there, the research I got with people who want to get married on the whole is actually a bit less than that.
How much you got?
So,
52%.
52% still want to get married.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And
Well,
they,
So I
they
guess
said
it.
that percentage is between millennials, Gen Zs, and the older generation.
oh,
Gen
oh,
Z
so you
is
do
who? I
everybody.
can't remember.
Gen Z
Gen
is
Zs
not.
is the TikTok dancers.
Then
Oh,
Gen
oh,
Z
oh.
is
So like Krista,
Entitled Gen
Aisha.
Z.
Excuse me, I am an honorary millennial. Eh?
You
Take
take yourself
no.
out.
Return to sender. Return to sender.
well, okay, Miss Honorary Millennial. I'm pretty sure you in 9% who want to get married too.
Yes,
So
I
we
am.
keep
I
saying
do want
yes.
to get married.
Well, since she's an honorary millennial, it means she can answer this question that I want to ask her now. Then
I feel so.
Did I put myself in trouble?
I feel so. But anyhow, yes. So top three reasons. Why? So 69% actually want to still get married. The
Mhm.
other quick maths, 100 take away 69 is what? 30,
31?
31, right?
31.
Right, good. Nobody say I was a maths genius, right? Only the tweens mom. Only the tweens mom. But yes, so the other 31% don't want to get married. And the top three reasons I have, well, I have more than three, yeah, but I'll just say three for now and
Sure.
see where the conversation goes. So they feel they are too young. What too young means? Speaker.
Well, if they say too young, then they probably have a number in mind that is not too young. So then,
Like meaning they want to wait on to get
so
married
then
older
they
at an
mean they're
older
waiting
age.
on a certain age to get married, and that means that what?
But okay, as an honorary, as an honorary millennial, I think it has to do with maturity. Because I feel like if you're 18, but you are mentally, spiritually, all that mature and you're able to handle it, then you should be ready. So I don't think, I think they are saying that at a particular age, they expect that they would be mature enough for marriage. I don't think they're saying, well, at 28, look, let me just get married. Eh? I don't think it's just it's just a matter of a number. I
I
think they talking about maturity.
I want to know if all you believe in that age thing, that you're too young, you could be too young, etc.
This is my whole thing, right? I don't even know what. Okay, what is a number? What is a number for too young? I think that once you
One.
reach the legal, well, it has to be 1 0. One,
10 years old.
once you reach the legal age for marriage, then you can get married. You understand? As Krista
I
said,
believe that too.
yeah,
You,
as
you
Krista,
can, but I want to know, like, personally, for you, if you hear 18 year will get married, would you be like, let's see you?
No,
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 because God, you wanted to say something, Sha?
no. I was just saying, no, no, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I can't believe that because then I mean I wasn't 18 when I got married, but I will still feel like some kind of hypocrite because to society's standards I was very young as well. So I don't how to say this. I okay for me personally, I would not have gotten married when I was 2021. I got married at 22. Aaron and I got married at 22, right? And we often say that at 20 we were extremely stupid. So it would not work out. And at 21, we still had to work on like maturity. We were engaged by 21, but to be married, I really don't think so. So in my opinion, a few years does make a difference. A few years does make a difference, but that is just for me personally. I wouldn't go like if my child say, "Mommy, I is 21." Hopefully, you are more mature than me than when I was 21, and then I'll say, "Do you think spread your wing?"
I'm
I
sorry, but
actually think that
Just not.
go ahead, Sean.
Aaron was saying something.
Go ahead, Sean, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I actually think that that too young talk kind of stems from people always watching them and saying, "Well, you're young. Why you want to look by yourself now? Enjoy yourself. Go and live your life." Because most of them really think that when you get married, you get boring basically. You can't do nothing, you can't have fun, you just knock down. So that too young thing is just for them to get some more freedom, basically. I think that's where it kind of stems from. Anyway,
Listen,
I
in
double
my
minded on
oh,
the
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead.
I double yeah, I double minded on the topic because unless I know you personally at 18, I go in and watch you and laugh at you. And the reason why I will do that is because don't follow the hype. Understand what you're doing first. Unless I know you personally to the extent that hey, you is a knowledgeable person and would you would go out of your way to make this thing work, fine, by all means. But any normal 18-year-old now, I sorry, I just don't believe in it just like that. Because everybody matures differently and different experiences, sorry, matures people differently. So whereas I may go through something and I may realize that, hey, here's the scene, it's best I hush my mouth. Somebody may go through the same thing I go through and say, here's the scene, it's nice for me to talk more. You understand what I'm saying? So it depends on the person mentality is how I will view certain things. And I really and honestly don't believe that most people know what they going and do with their life at 18. I sorry.
So if your child say, "Daddy, I want to get married and I'm 18,"
I'll buy a piece of land, give them some green, go and plant.
plant plant instead of getting married.
No, you ain't understand the point I'm trying to make. If when you're done plant that field, you still feel like getting married, fine. Go about your hammer blessings. Go out my blessings. But if you start a plant that field and halfway through that field you can't make it, then you ain't going nowhere.
Ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I catch you heights. I catch you heights. I catch you heights. I catch you heights. So, Krista wanted to say something.
No, I just going. I agree with Aaron actually because I would be a hypocrite if I say that I never looked at an 18-year-old or a 20-year-old who got married young and said, "Well, wait, boy, them was way too young for that boy," you know. And I didn't really know the people. I didn't know them personally to say whether they were ready or not. So I agree with Aaron in the sense that on a general, spectrum, whatever. If I'm looking at you and you're um really young in age and you're looking to get married, generally I will say, all right, you're kind of too young, but I'll keep it to myself. I wouldn't say it to them. um but if I know you personally, obviously I will know if you're ready or not, in my opinion.
Okay, so another reason why they're not getting married, millennials, is that they don't feel financially ready. What is financially ready? Let's define that one.
I guess is you probably have a little job, you're making some money enough. You could buy a little house, a little car, somewhere to put your family in rather than when you're already married. It's like, okay, so we have no money, where we live in, what we gonna eat? I not even working, so how? I think that's what it is.
Okay, so if you with somebody, right, and it take you 15 years to make the goal of getting a house, buying land, getting a car, you will string the person along for let's say 15 years.
Yeah, yeah. Why not?
I believe people have done that. But if you and the person have an understanding, hey, this is what I want to get before I decide to marry you, and once I get that, yeah, I'm getting married for sure. And you all sit and decide that no matter how long it takes, that we're gonna do what I can't tell you no. That is your choice to make. Right? So but people
I,
will do
ag-
that.
I agree with Sean. I agree with Sean. Because at the end of the day, if I tell you that I wait until I get so and so is the case, and you want to get dragged along, that's your business. If you know you want to get married and I doing this and doing all that to keep my promise, right? And you want to get dragged along, there are nobody else to blame but you. That is just what it is. Nobody in owe you their hand in marriage, not man, not woman.
Well, split facts. So wait, just now, if I am with you for 10 years,
Mm.
you don't think you owe me a ring and a date, bro?
No, no,
If it's something
no.
you all decided on from before that until I get to this point when I get married, then why would I even bother to try to give you a ring now? We decided upon this already.
I mean, I guess so, eh? I guess so, but we still not answering the question. What? Okay, Krista, let me ask Krista. What you mean? What do you think financially ready is?
Okay, so far I only have two things. I would say financial stability, as in, all right, maybe a stable job that, could support the household, whatever. It's only too early in the beginning, anyways. Well, hopefully.
Hopefully.
it's only it's only too early. Hopefully, it's only too early in the beginning. So it wouldn't be that much, right? I would say a job and financial literacy. That's all I have. If listen, you could be making small money, but your ability to save could afford you so much. So I say financial stability and a stable job. A
True,
tap out.
true. I want to know though, because I'm kind of curious, Aaron, from a man's
Mm.
perspective. First thing, I have a question from a man's perspective. When they say, I'm waiting to get a certain amount of finances or I'm waiting to become financially ready, is that simply an excuse? Because I was looking at a YouTube video just today, and the man said that whenever men tell you, wait, I need to get my finances in order, it means that it is an excuse
That what
because
you say?
no man wants to be used solely for um, financial gain, just for their finances.
That question depends on the man.
Okay,
If the man is a truthful man and he's a man of his word, he's a man with salt, as people let's say, then yeah, it's not an excuse. But if like you talk about the topic of marriage with somebody and they keep bringing this up over and over and over, and they basically using it as like a diversion, sorry, then you know you're getting led on. But all right, as a man, really and truly, you ain't want no woman around you, you can't feed her. Basically, I'm gonna put it in that way. If I get in trouble to eat for myself, right? Why would I marry you? If I hungry, why would I marry you? So two hungry more go be in the house together now.
I think that's valid.
Wait. So why she don't have a job? Why she can't feed you too? Why
true.
The
two of
topic that
y'all
was that
have
wasn't the question. The question was directed towards men.
right? But you're saying yes, but at the end of what you
Mm.
said if I hungry, why would I have you hungry as well? My wife. But
Mhm.
Why she can't feed you too?
But that's
Like,
a
okay,
question.
why
Yeah.
she can't be a provider as well? You know?
Do
Um,
most women want a
I could only
sorry,
answer
sorry.
for myself, Asia. I do not feel comfortable with a woman doing that to me. That is just me.
Okay, fair enough.
So you don't want a woman to be the sole provider, the
Nope,
breadwinner, basically.
nope. Mm-mm.
That's good.
I mean,
That's really good.
you could help me out, but mm-mm.
All right, cool, cool. I forget the other question I had for you though, but I'm glad you answered this one. So the other reason why they don't want to get married is, well, they aren't getting married is because they haven't found what they are looking for.
Do they
So
know
to
what they're
all
looking
my
for?
single ladies, what what are you looking for? Asia, putting you on spot. Asia, what are you looking for?
First of all, I'm not looking. But if I was looking, I would be looking for, well, you can't be broke, right? Because you can't be 25, 28, 29, 30, and you ain't have no job. That is unacceptable, right? So you have to have some form of income, right? That's what I'm looking for. That's what I would be looking for. I would be looking for someone who is in the church, right? So the person believes in God and stuff. The same, like Christ, born again Christian, like myself, no other religion, right? I think being equally yoked, especially spiritually, is important. So I don't want to be Christian and then he's a different religion. Um, yeah, but that's like the main thing. Like, you could provide and you believe in God. You must be a good leader, right? So you must be able to lead. You must be um easy to talk to, because have some men you cannot talk to them like their way or no way at all, right? So he must be somebody who could take suggestions. Although he is, let's see, the head of the household, he should be able to take suggestions from me as well. So that's all I have for now.
Okay. Asia says she's not looking for, I have an extensive list. Chrissy, let's
Listen,
Chrissy Christmas.
I, for the most part, I agree with Asia. I would just like to add purpose. I would like to. I need to have a man who, like, he has to have purpose. I feel like purpose gives you direction, and without that, like, if, for instance, right, I have been, for this topic, researching whatnot, whatnot, and I would hear stories from women about how all the men want to do is sit on the couch and play video games and nothing else. He ain't have no, like, even if your purpose isn't, like, you can make money from it, like, your job or whatnot. Even if it's something else outside of that, I just want you to have some direction, because if I am supposed to depend on you to lead me, I have to know where we're going. And if we're not going nowhere, I don't want to be with you. I think that marriage can bring out a lot in individuals. It can reveal a lot of things, and it can also help build individuals in that relationship, in that marriage. So if we're not continuously growing and maturing, I think I don't know. I don't want to be in that type of relationship. I don't think I can be in that type of relationship. So everything Isha said, but with purpose.
What about you, Shan? Shan
You
says she
see
not
that?
looking.
Yay! Oh boy. Oh boy. You see that thing in First Timothy 3 about what a bishop or overseer should be? He should be that. He should be that.
So
That's it.
in other words, you want a bishop.
He should have those qualities. He don't have to be a bishop. He should have those qualities. Okay?
Alright.
Along with what they just said, you gotta be able to provide that. Yeah, so I'm asking. I'm not, and I'm not going to marry to suffer it.
So them cookies need to be stacked.
Stack them cookies up. Okay? Right, so you have to provide and you have to be that thing there. Those qualities.
Oh wait, oh wait. All you had me thinking, and so I have a couple. I just like one or two more. Um,
Well, that is long.
Emotional. I just add into the list. Emotional maturity. Okay, because yes, we say we want a provider, protector, but it's not just my
We need to learn
physical.
to lose them.
It's not just my physical, body. I want you to protect. It's my heart as well. I want just to add on to the part where Aisha was talking about easy to talk to and whatnot. If I'm speaking to you and I'm coming to you and sharing, okay, I'm hurt about something, or not just about take suggestions, but like, let's say I notice that we are kind of going off in the relationship, or being the relationship is getting stagnant. I must feel comfortable enough to come to you and say, baby, so I noticed XYZ. Let's work on it. You understand? Yeah, I think that's it. So one thing, not a couple. One thing I had to add.
You know how they say you have to live with the person so you could see how it is to live with them before you marry them. What do you think about that?
Truthfully, I never actually thought about it.
Straight face.
But well, see, man, come live with me is two different things, eh? That's what the old people does say, but it's true. See me and come live with me is two totally different things. But I don't know. I never really thought about shacking up. Would it make a difference though? I don't think it would make a difference. It would make a difference because I mean, if we have to last, we last, and if we weren't meant to last, we wouldn't last anyway. You understand?
I think my thinking is that, well, if you shack up, as you said, well, obviously you're getting to see what that person is really like, right? Hopefully they're not faking it for the amount of time that you're living with the person. I mean, at some point they're going to show themselves. Um, would that then deter people from getting married? Like, okay, I'm in a relationship. Let's move in together. We lived together for about what, 1 to 2 years, and then I realized, all right, I can't do this, so then I break up with you. What is the difference to that? If we did not live together, would we then get married and then, all right, I'm stuck now, so I have to live with it? Like, does living with the person before marriage deter you from getting married? Like, or could it? I should say, could it?
Yes, sometimes. Because if I realize I don't want to live with this, then I'm not going to marry you. Like if
Maybe
I
the
know I
ego
don't
shot
want
that
to
back in
live
your
with
day.
that, then I'm not going to marry you. And then it's easier to break up than to divorce. So let me live with you, and then if it doesn't work out, well, then I can just divorce you.
Leave
I mean, I can just leave.
uh,
You understand? Rather than go through this whole
a
legal
whole leave.
system. So another reason why millennials are not getting married is individualism. They want to focus on themselves, and they want to try to be the best version of themselves that they could possibly be. And for some reason, people think that you cannot do that within a marriage. This is my thing, right? You can still be an individual. People might stone me, but anyway, you can still be an individual if you are married. Because, well, okay, if you are married to a person who does not stifle your individuality, you can still be an individual. Because in my marriage, I am allowed to express my my own thoughts. I'm allowed to go after certain dreams. And especially when I remember when Aaron and I were about to be married, and somebody looked at me and said, "So, Jade, if Aaron wants to go to university, how will that work out?" And I'm just like, how us being married will stop him from wanting to go to university. I said to that person, I said, he's 22, right? He could go to university. Like, why would I stop him from going to university? He does not have children. And even if he did have children, he can still go. Don't, it's like, okay, didn't you think that I, for myself, thought, we coming off the market fresh out the womb. We will have other goals, we will have other dreams,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And so, therefore, we cannot stifle each other. I made that commitment, and I made that decision knowing that one of us might want to migrate to Germany. You understand? Because as they get older, and at these very young, your early 20s, you're still trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to do? What career path? All these different things. So I wouldn't like, okay, that was just a dumb question, right? That was just a really dumb question. Okay. But yes, you can still be an individual in your marriage. Not everything is, you know, like a herd mentality, even though it's two of you, a herd of two people.
Yeah, I think you also need to know who you are for your own self before you get married. If you don't know you as your own self, how you think, how you behave, how you would react, you don't know these things about yourself, nothing. And then you go into a marriage, then you are going to allow this person to define exactly who you are. So then you really will have no individualism because you don't know who you are. You are learning behaviors to form yourself from inside of the marriage instead of you knowing that this is who I am going into the marriage. So then you can bring you into the marriage along with him bringing him into the marriage to form this marriage of these two people, these two individuals coming together. So yes, they want individualism, and you can have that, yes, once you know who you are, because then it could get messy.
Okay, but I feel like some of them just take that and run with it, like to the extreme, because you, okay, you can know who you are, yes, and I do think you should spend some time discovering discovering what it is that first of all you like to do, things, try things. I yes, find yourself, right? But I do think that, sorry, I think I have a guest. 1 second. Somebody speak whilst I go attend. Sorry.
Yes. So anyway, that was one of the reasons why they are not getting married, because they have to explore their individualism. Another reason why they are not getting married is the change of the role of women in society. Women no longer see marriage as a means of survival. They have the same career opportunities as men, and they take advantage of those opportunities. What do you think about that one?
So me taking advantage of opportunities is stopping me from getting married because my husband will not want me to do it. Is that basically what this is about? Because I don't see.
Well, remember a long time, women used to get married just so that they could have some sort of financial security now. You understand?
Oh,
But now that it is a different day, and with the rise of feminism, etc., women are now going into the workforce. Women can provide for themselves. Women can see about themselves. And so, therefore, why are we even getting married? You understand? So that is what they believe. And I remember looking at a video that I saw of Judge Judy, and she was saying, never let a man be the only person making money in your relationship. Because if you have to escape, then um, you won't be able to. If you have to escape the relationship, then you won't be able to. I understand what she's saying, but at the same time, I just find it was disrespectful to full time housewives to say something like that, especially since not every man is abusive.
But she would say that a housewife has to get paid too. I've heard her said that housewife being a housewife is a job, and which
True.
is that is true. Being a housewife is a full time job. A
Yeah,
wife, especially a housewife, needs an allowance. That's very important.
that is true. That is true. Being a housewife is a full time job that does not even stop on a weekend. You have no weekend breaks. And when your husband or your children come home from school, that is when work starts again. So, yeah, I agree with her, housewives need an allowance because, yeah, human beings are not easy to see about. But I guess she's saying that even as a housewife, instead of just spending that allowance, put it aside in a savings. I heard somebody say a tuck away account. Put it aside in that, just in case your husband decide that he needs to beat you for some reason. And another reason why millennials aren't getting married is divorce. They are afraid of divorce and its effects. It can cause permanent emotional and financial stress.
but why you going into a marriage and the first thing you're thinking about is divorce? If you're going into the marriage thinking about divorce, then you will get divorced.
True that. True that.
So then you have no kind of faith then, because so every time you go in a car, you will tell yourself, constantly getting accidents, I'm not going anywhere. Or every time you want to have fun, you will say, I had a date, so make no sense to have fun. That not making no sense. Why go into the marriage if you're studying divorce, 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 divorce? But then you really have no business getting married. For
Yeah,
real.
exactly. Exactly. And these people are operating in a spirit of fear because I love this person so much, but I'm not going to marry them because I am afraid of divorce. Okay. I mean, yes, divorce can take a toll, but just to sit down and say, okay, like that's the main thing you're thinking about. You're not even thinking, okay, let me see how I could strategize to make sure that this relationship works. You're not even thinking that, you're just thinking, hey, we could get divorced. It's a 50-50 chance that we can get divorced. And so therefore, I ain't doing it. Oh my gosh.
All right, Ollie, I'm back. Sorry
Eh,
about that. What I miss? What I miss?
everything. So let's go on. What is the purpose? No. What does the Bible say about marriage?
Okay, so from doing my copious amounts of research, all right, I have found four things. There's more, but I found four things that the Bible says about marriage. The first one being marriage is from God and is good. All right, so in Genesis 2:24, it states that therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Notice it does not say that man will be united to a woman. The Bible says his wife. Here we can see that God created marriage and thus marriage is good. And then, well, they quoted Proverbs 18:22,
Which says,
which, yeah, I know it took long to come up,
oh,
which
I
says,
know. I didn't know you can say it. Sorry.
he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Right? So number two is marriage is good for non-Christians also. So it's not just for Christians, it's for everybody. They go on to say that not only is marriage a godly pursuit that most Christians should seek after, marriage is also an expression of common grace to the world. So common grace from God to the world. They say the Bible, sorry, not they, the Bible also says people should not be unequally yoked in marriage. So I think Aisha was saying that earlier. She did not want to be unequally yoked with her husband if she were looking for one. Sorry if he found her. While the Bible says that marriage is for the whole world and not just Christians, the Bible also says that Christians and non Christians should not intermarry. Marriages between different races, cultures, and socioeconomic statuses should be celebrated and encouraged. The only type of union that is forbidden are what the Bible calls unequally yoked relationships, which point to a union between a believer and an unbeliever, right? Oh, and then the last one I think all of us Christians should know marriage can only be between one man and one woman. But I think it should be listen, I think it should be specified because seeing as in the world there are different types of marriage, we should say Christian marriage and the proper the first definition and the first thing of marriage says that marriage can only be between one man and one woman.
Okay, okay. Anybody else? What does the Bible say about marriage?
Bible says cling to your wife and leave your parents' house.
True, you have to leave and cleave. Aaron seems as though he have something to say.
No, I just smile at what Krista said earlier.
Uh-huh.
No, no, I can ask a question.
Yes.
If you don't get married, right, is it sinful?
No.
If you don't
No.
get married and you stay celibate, then
Yeah.
you're not sinful.
Okay.
But if you get married and you're just giving everybody bamboo, then yes, it's sinful. The Bible talks about fornication.
But okay, so let me ask our next, that bring up our next question now, right? Because it has specific scriptures in the Bible that talk about giving bamboo to everybody, right? But it
Mm,
have two scriptures that I know that have a reason attached to it.
okay.
So share.
Right?
One of them Paul was talking about to keep your husband satisfied, right? And keep your wife satisfied. Lest yada yada be a bringing lust and whatever the case may be, right? So my question is, if your husband or wife not satisfying you, then what should you do?
Have a conversation.
You and your spouse should have a nice conversation about that.
With your spouse
Not
not getting the
everything should
message.
not everything should be
What Aisha said?
solved by just action.
Aisha said something.
With your spouse not listening. And they
Yeah, what
want
if you're real salted?
yeah, if you're real thoughts on you when you're supposed to taking you on. They ain't want to touch you nothing.
Listen, as Krista said, not everything has to be solved by just plain action. You have to have a conversation first. So you will say, here this now. I salting, you ain't doing that that thing that I like. And so how are we going to fix this? Because remember, marriage is for better or worse. If your worse is not getting any sex,
And sometimes the worst comes first. So
yeah, exactly. And sometimes the worst comes first. That's why we have to be long suffering. We have to be patient. We have to give grace.
we have to have perseverance.
We have woo boy. So yeah, that's what the Bible says about marriage. What about what does the world say about this thing called marriage?
Oh well. The words say a man can marry, a woman can marry.
A
The
man,
words say
woman,
you could go swinger parties. All kind
Love
of
is
things.
love.
You
Love
say
is
you could
love.
marry animals and roller coasters and things.
and trees. Marriage is simply a piece of paper.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah, that one is a
Listen,
very common one.
we don't need no marriage. Listen, girl, I committed to you. We don't need all of that. I don't want the government in me business. Marriage is that's just a piece of paper, dog.
And
The
you know
words
what is a
say you could have children and live together. You don't need to get married.
hmm, true.
Oh, I also heard that. I also heard that marriage, like, oh God, I forget it. I forget it. I'm sorry. I laughed and I forgot it. I saw a comment and I forgot it.
Yes. It's okay, Chris. So yeah, people pervert. You know what is funny? They will do everything else except get married. I saw somebody. Only I always seeing something, right? My eyes long. Anyhow, I saw somebody on my timeline. They got a civil partnership. They went to court. They dressed up nicely. They went to court. They got their civil partnership certificate, just like how we have marriage certificates. Yes, they got their civil partnership certificate, and that was that. They celebrate it as though it is a marriage
What
anniversary thing, but they're just not married.
what is a civil partnership?
Brenda, you asking the
That's
wrong person to come here, though.
that's not common. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It just sounds like common law. Because if you're not
I
married,
feel so. I feel so
So
because
if marriage is just a piece of paper like this, why would you go and get a piece of paper that says in a civil partnership? Is that the same building you had to go in?
it's just
I had
another
the
piece of paper.
definition earlier.
of
I had
Of a
the
civil
civil
Nah,
partnership.
definition.
partnership.
Yeah. A civil partnership is a legal relationship which can be registered by two people who aren't related to each other. Civil partnerships are available to both same sex couples and opposite sex couples. Registering a civil partnership will give your relationship legal recognition. So it's basically marriage without extra steps.
You're married. You're married.
So okay, because this person wasn't from Trinidad. This person wasn't from Trinidad. But now that you said it, because I thought it was like common law, even though in some in some states in America they have common law certificates too, eh?
oh,
So this is what I'm saying. They're just doing everything else. Like y'all just doing everything else. Just get married. It's the same legal documents you have to sign.
Ollie, I remember what I heard about marriage. They
Mm.
said that when you get married, it go like the relationship goes to SHIT.
Also, be
Oh,
civil
Things get
partnership
worse.
instead.
Yeah. So when you get married, that little piece of paper that you sign, the relationship that you once had goes to SHIT. Goes to crap.
Okay, okay. So I guess it's just the word. It's the word marriage that
Maybe they feel
but
like
the
I don't
commitment.
know.
But isn't it the
Because
same commitment with civil partnership, Re?
Exactly.
I don't know if you could have a divorce in a civil partnership.
Aaron,
It
you
do the
know?
divorce like if I'm married, like if it's a
Again,
marriage, or could they just walk out of it and it mean nothing because it's not a marriage?
if I know he ain't about the thing.
No, I thought
This is
in,
something
in
new to
your
me.
quick research
No,
there.
I thought we'd see something like that because I mean, I think the marriage thing is just the commitment and it's not easy to walk out. Like if we're not married, I could just say, okay, I done and I go on my way. Whereas it's a longer process if I'm married. Is more to it.
It have a it have a set of thing here, but it's a long read.
Go
And then I
read.
guess. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask him to just read a little bit if it has to do with the dissolution, dissolvement of
I agree.
civil
You know what to call them.
partnerships.
Just I will read ending and relationships, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Alright. If you are living together with your partner without being in a civil partnership, you can separate informally without going to court. However, the court has the power to make decisions about who should take care of any children of the family. If you are in a civil partnership, you and your partner can separate informally, but you will need to apply to court if you want to end your civil partnership formally, which means that You see, like how we had to be divorced, separated for a certain amount of years to be divorced. It's basically the same thing.
But okay, is
It
it like okay?
literally is the same thing.
The same
Because
thing.
when I was looking up, why people don't want to get married, and some of it came up that it was due to finances, right? Is it that in a divorce that okay, it's not beneficial financially, and then with the civil partnership thing, you could just end it and bust out?
Yeah, basically. Because it says here in the financial support thing I seen right here, neither you or your partner has a legal responsibility to support each other financially at the end of a relationship.
Or because men
Be-
have to pay alimony with if they divorce.
Yeah. So
So
basically, it's just a boyfriend girlfriend relationship
That's
with a piece
legal.
of paper, with a piece of paper, and we had a bust out with a piece of paper when we breaking up, and I keeping my money and you keeping your money. The
So
only
So
thing,
basically, like a marriage with a
prenup, right?
prenup.
yeah, basically,
Because you still had to go to the court, you still had to pay to get your papers.
does it cost like?
the only differences though is the with the who taking care of the children and
But that's
child support.
normal, I think. I think that's just general. It's across the board, right?
Yeah,
Whether you're married, whether you divorce or end the civil situationship.
Yeah,
so
because I
here's
know for the. Go ahead.
a boyfriend or girlfriend with a laminated paper. Simple.
Yeah. Wow. Because I know for common law, when you get a common law certificate, I
Mhm.
believe it's the same thing too. You have to get on common law married, common law divorced, I guess. So, wow. Amazing. So, yes, the world says that marriage is simply a piece of paper, but clearly they prefer to get other pieces of paper. Um, love is love. Marriage can involve more than two people, even inanimate objects, even your pets, everything. So, how is marriage viewed in the church? Hmm. How is marriage viewed
It's,
among
it's
church folk?
probably one of the best things you can do in a church. What when in church again, married, everybody just get overjoyed. Like, what, another wedding? Yeah, everybody's getting real happy. They don't know if you're doing the right thing. They know nothing about you really, and all they know is somebody
You're
getting
married.
married. And we real happy for that. That's the biggest thing you can do. That and get baptized, but yeah, marriage.
True, true, true. But listen, I think at least the baptism is actually something, you understand?
Yeah,
That will not potentially ruin your life if you go left. But but yes, I think in churches, only people extreme out here in these streets, you know. People extreme. I hear all kind of different things. First of all, as Shan said, from the time you see you getting married and you are part of a church, everybody is happy.
hmm,
Then the married folks start to indoctrinate you into their sororities, right? So you are now a part of the marriage club, and the rest of you common single folk can't and won't be able to understand what what it takes to be a part of this club.
I just don't know.
I mean, They didn't really know you before, but as soon as they hear you getting married, all of a sudden they know your last name and they know you is Mrs. and Mr. But they never know you before today.
Listen,
As
you're no
soon as you get
longer
married, they know your last name.
you're no longer so and so, you're Mrs. So and so.
Yes,
And they like to call you by your whole legal name now, the whole name.
yes. Ole, I don't know what my first name is, you know. I don't know. My first name is Mrs. I'm telling you. Not only that, I heard some extreme things about God arranging certain things. No, I believe that God answers all your questions because He speaks to us. So, of course, He can tell you, you know, so and so is a good fit for you, right? I mean, I don't believe in soulmates, so I believe that He could tell. He could tell you about three people as good fits for you. It's up to you to choose, right? Which brings me back to the point of God arranging your union. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know
God
about that.
never arrange. If you think about it in the Bible, it's not like one person God ever say married this person. Like one person. Everybody married, but that's when he said him to marry the prostitute. And that's a different case, but that's the only time
Yeah, and that
when
was for a reason.
exactly that was for a reason. I never know otherwise that God is saying. I
Because,
don't know about that.
yeah, because, okay, if God arranged this marriage for you, then that means that if that person dies, you cannot fulfill ministry, you know. You are doomed to walk the earth single, lonely, and sad. You understand? So I don't know about that arranged marriage thing. I know that God gave us free will. We looked at the benefits of marrying certain people and we decided, hey, okay. And then because they are good people, we say, thank you, Jesus, for bringing XYZ into my life. Thank you, Jesus, that XYZ is on my wavelength when it comes to certain things. And so, therefore, yeah, if we have to do ministry, let's do ministry together. Simple, effective. Me, I know nothing about this arranged marriage and arranged marriage. I don't believe it. I stand by it. I don't believe in that. Because if things go left, you will want to blame God and say, God, it's you who arranged this thing for me. And then God will be like, I. So,
Listen, I'm glad that it is a married woman saying this and not my single, uneducated self that is saying this because clearly I don't know nothing.
well, me know nothing either. Yes, Aaron.
I mean, I'm sound real bad when I say this, but I think that arranged marriage talk, when they say that God put it together, is just a ploy pastors use on single people to put them together. That is just what I believe.
I think these single people, let's put up on themselves.
I I think I think that these pastors does know who gullible enough to listen to
True.
them. And yes, I use the word gullible. Come at me in
True.
the comments. Yes,
At
right.
me.
I believe that these pastors does know who gullible enough to listen to them, and who there's know that you're burning. So they go say, all right, you burning, she burning. I go put two all together. Two all stop burning amongst yourself now. Now burn each other. Burn each other as much as all you want. And then certain things may happen, and then is well, I never force you to do this.
It's God. I heard
Yes,
from God
God.
and He told me.
Don't blame me, blame God.
But then this is the next issue too. If God arranged, because God perfect, you know. So if God arranged your marriage, it means that that marriage is gold. I don't want to hear any arguing because God is a God of perfection, which means that He put you all together and you all will perfectly become one.
Mhm.
So I do not want to hear any arguing. I do not want to hear any, well, we have to go marriage counseling every single month. I don't want to hear any of those things. God put you all together, and that is that. All right. God don't make any mistakes. Come on, we know we are Christian people. God don't make any mistakes. Sean laughing, I serious. God don't make no mistakes.
I laughing can understand what you say. Because a lot of these marriages that were arranged, when they go by the pastor for counseling, the pastor say, well, it's God who put you all together, you know, so he will help you all work it out. I mean, why is there a problem?
And then the pastor becomes the third strand.
Exactly. So give me that one pastor. Hey,
Oh Lord. AI week. Anyhow, we don't know what we say, nah? So yes, how do men view marriage? Mr. Man, who is the only man here. How do men view marriage?
Mostly it's something that is not worth getting into
Why?
Right. Yeah.
because hold on, let me get to my book here. I just was on the thing, you know. Right. High divorce rates, feminism, financial reasons, and basically injustices in the court system. Which one
Okay.
you want to answer first?
Any.
Hmm.
All right. Feminism. If you believe that you could do anything I could do, then I never get married to a person to be in competition with anybody. It don't make no sense to me. For the fact of the matter is, I thought we supposed to be working on something together, but if it's a competition, then baby girl in a competition on your own. That is just what I understand it to be, right? With the divorce rates, there's a study I have here with this from the CDC, and marriage ain't really looking good in this report that they do here. And I will do Trinidad, I will say about Trinidad first, but they only have Trinidad up to a certain year because I ain't think Trinidad do a census in a long time,
Hey.
right? So I have from the year 2000 to the year 2005, right? Now, the year 2000, according to the CDC, is one of the peak years in Trinidadian marriage rates, right? It had 7,595 marriages, and in that year, there were 1,554. I did the percentage, and it says, and I came, this is me now, eh? This is me. I say it again. I did the percentage out of this, and the success rate I got was 80%, right? Jumping ahead to 2005 now. In 2005, the marriages went up. 8,144 marriages happened in that year. The divorces also went up to 2,785 divorces, right? Again, I did the percentage, I got 65%, right? Now they said, this is what they said in that same year too, that plenty of them was previous years of being married and they just decided to divorce in 2005, right? Like I say, Trinidad didn't do a census as of lately, so I had to take that information at face value. Now, jumping on to the states now. Year 2000, 2 million, 2.33 million marriages happened that year, right? And the divorces was basically around it off to 944,000 divorces happened that year. That was 59% success rate I get from that. And this one is 2020 that I did here. 1 million, as you can see, it went down. 1,676 and 911. That is how much marriages. And then it have 630, 505 divorces. And it basically went up by a little bit. But what the CDC said here is that they didn't include certain areas of the country so that it could actually be less than it is here. But the official thing is that
Less or more?
no, less. The
Okay.
divorce rates could actually be more.
Oh, he meant less less of a success rate.
Yes, less successful, right? Because in this one here and the first one in 2000, they did the whole country. And this one here in 2020, they leave out certain major cities, right? So that is why they have the rates as how it is here now. And yet, basically, and they added that it actually less successful than you think it is. So men, and it had some comments where men were saying, if that is the case, then why am I joining this? And yada yada yada. And everybody know the woman take your half when she divorced a bit. Right? So men don't really view this as something worth going into. And Christian men tend to marry more than men of the world. It's less than men of the world, well, which will mean that there's less divorces among the church. But yeah, basically, and I just saying here, this is just me again. As far as I see this research telling me here, if you want to get married as a woman, you're basically most likely you have a higher success rate of being part of a church.
So that you could get a Christian man to marry.
Yeah, so that you can get a man to marry and last a significant amount of years.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Okay.
Yeah. So some of the reasons I have for divorce here is lack of commitment, meaning that they want sexual exclusivity to you, meaning that there's only I touching you when the night come, and he ain't going and get touched from nobody else.
The man to the woman. Just
No, I'm talking from men, so women.
yeah, okay, good.
Right? The communication. They bring up that we communicate differently, men and women, and yes, I agree to that too. Because how I may understand something, you may not understand it. External affairs, meaning that your family could be feeding you one bag of nonsense, and you're going, and that's the woman I'm talking about, because obviously I'm talking from the man's point of view. The family influencing the woman to make certain decisions that may cause the marriage to fall apart. I have sex here, I have substance abuse, conflict over family responsibilities, and I have in a bracket feminism, because that is where I get that one from. And the money. Money is the major one I have on top.
I feel like okay. So in terms of the the statistics that you brought up, like the first question, not really a question, but just for clarification, basically, men of the world versus Christian men, they don't really see a value in getting married, or like not a value, a benefit of getting married. Whereas Christians have, to glorify God, they have that strong
Mm-hmm.
conviction. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why you see men, Christian men, getting married more than, um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have a long list, but I'm not going and because I know that other people want to talk, I'm not going to go through that whole list.
Well, I just have a question, right? And as a man, you could tell me whether or not this is true. Men um don't marry a woman who they don't who they can't get a certain value from, right? Is that true? Because okay, let me see how I can explain this. You have to bring something rare to the table, because if they could get it from Jill and Jenny, then why would they bother to get it from you?
Correct. Correct.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay.
Any other questions?
No, I just wanted to. Go
I
ahead,
have
Krista.
one
Sorry.
last question. In terms of finances, because you said, well, money, you said money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it that they, sorry, I have background noise, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
is it that the money is diminishing, or is it that, all right, the wife or whoever, they have ill communication when it comes to money, and they're at a crossroads. Did you find anything about that? Because
Well, I could only give you word of mouth things that I read here.
mhm,
I didn't really take down anything because obviously I didn't know you was going to ask that question. But I could only give from word of mouth here, and certain things that they said were that, all right, the spending problem. Sometimes you would say that in them old shows they go show the man just handing the woman the wallet or the credit card and they
yeah,
just go
yeah,
about their business.
yeah,
Right. It's kind of like that example they use where that they just know, all right, this woman know they could access more finances at any time, and certain times they would just do things without saying so. So sometimes they will say, okay, okay, I expecting to have this budget at the end of the year, and then they will realize, hey, I had a where this car note come from? I didn't buy a car,
yeah.
or I didn't buy a ring, or I didn't buy a new stove set, or whatever the case may be. I mean, I don't know what women into like that, but understand my point. Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
understand.
it's like it overbearing in a certain sense from is what I get from it. Well,
Okay,
basically, based on the financial thing they have here.
okay, okay. Thank you for answering.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else?
I think that's it.
My
Yeah.
laptop didn't want to unmute. Anyway, so okay, so I think we learned a whole lot today about marriage. I know I did. You all taught me a lot of things today. A lot of things I didn't know. I learned today. And we just want to say thank you all so much for joining us. But don't worry, don't think we've done it. This has to be
Nah,
continued. To be
absolutely.
continued in part two, because we have so much more to talk about on this topic. We had all these plans, and well, you will realize time is going. So you will join us again for part two of marriage, holy or happy. Which one is it for? So we'll get back to that. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you all again next week Friday, same time, same place, 8 o'clock. Find us on YouTube. Hear the snap.
Subscribe.
Find us on Instagram.
Comment.
Hear the snap. Subscribe, like, comment, all of those nice things, please, and thank you very much, y'all. Bye bye.
And click the
Bye.
notification
Oh,
bell.
yes, yes, yes. Do that so you
Yes,
can get
we better
notified.
take it down
Everything.
right now.
Bye.